Welcome back to New Movies, Worst People. I'm Derek.
I'm Whitney.
I'm Jack.
And this is a retirement plan.
Yeah.
Oh, single this time. Damn. Straight shooter.
So this is the newest Nicolas Cage movie.
Yeah. Came out last month, or no, early this month, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But nobody would know. Hard as shit to find.
It was really hard to find, but it was really fun to watch.
I don't know what she was saying there, but yes, it came out on like the 15th or the 12th or something.
Yeah.
But it was like limited release, so we can't find it here. Finally came out here last week. Didn't notice.
I thought it was going to be a straight to streaming type situation. I kept checking on it, and I even kept checking theater times and still not finding it.
Yeah, it's only playing in like 2 theaters in town. So that's interesting.
So good luck finding that.
So if we spoil something, just be okay with it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not going to watch it anyway, you nerds.
So basically, I mean, we'll do a little bit about the trailers, but I'll just say basically Nicolas Cage is a retired assassin. He's John Wick Sr.
A little bit of the Kenny Rogers.
I like how they said, well, you know Rambo?
Oh, multiple times we get Rambo references.
He's the one who trained Rambo.
Yep.
But first, we'll just do there's only 2 trailers. You guys missed the first one.
Was it new?
Yeah.
Okay.
Should have watched it before we did this, but
Hit me.
I'm a bad person. Yeah. It's called Saltburn. It has this kid whose name I can't tell you, but he was in Banshees of Inisherin. Did you see that?
No.
He was the one. He was nominated for Best Supporting Actor last year for Banshees of Inisherin. He was awesome. It's just, it looks like it's an Oscar bait movie.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe I'll just put the trailer on and people can check it out because I'm the only one who watched it.
I mean, is it one that you would say is worth?
I think it looks like it'll be cool. It doesn't look like it'll be for this.
Fair enough.
It looks like an interesting movie. I couldn't tell you exactly what it's about because they were good about not telling
But
me
it was
that.
one that you're interested to watch by on your own
The
time.
kid looks good. I'll put the link in the description. You guys watch it. It looks cool. And then the only other new trailer we got was Saw X, which
No thanks.
Have you seen Saw? Do you see Saw? Did you see Saw?
I see Saw 7 times.
I see Saw by the seashore. So basically, he wants revenge on the people who didn't remove his tumor? ?
Yeah, they lied to him, I guess.
Is he going to be like a head in a jar or something? Like, I don't know what's happening with that movie.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. He's alive. I mean, he's a full body person.
Well, that we can see. It could be a flashback pre-head.
But the last one I saw was 3.
You've seen 2 more than I have.
Well, the first one was a surprise, awesome thing for me.
Absolutely.
Because I went to see it because I got a free, the free preview movie passes.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, this movie looks dumb as fuck, but sure, why not? And then it had that twist ending.
And it was a little dumb as fuck at times.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, you knew what you're getting in, or you didn't know what you're getting into, but you liked what you got into.
Yeah, throughout the
with
movie,
just
I was
gore.
kind of like, this is kind of boring and stupid. Like, it's got some cool stuff, but whatever. And then there was the twist, and I was like, ho.
Hey, M. Night Shyamalan wishes he could twist like that.
And then I remember the second one because that girl puts her arm in all the glass and needles and
Is
shit.
that the second one? I thought that was the third one.
That's the second one.
Oh, God,
They're
needles.
they're in like a haunted house, but it's not a haunted house. It's haunted by Jigsaw.
I'm out.
The worst. It's the worst. Like gore scene. I can't say kill because she doesn't die. She ends up being the one who's like his protege for the next.
But it makes you
42
feel
movies.
icky.
But she's a heroin addict or a recovering heroin addict, and then there's this thing where you have to get this key, but it's in this pit that's full of broken syringes.
Oh, God.
And it's not even that gory. She just sticks her arms in it though. You just hear like crunching, and I just remember watching it just being like.
I
that's a
feel
little
like
nasty.
a needle goes in her.
Oh, she pulls it out, and there's like some needles hanging out and stuff, but there's not really much like. It's not like it's the least gory in the movie. I'm pretty sure there was one in there where a guy had to pull his arms out of these little things that were holding it, and they were like razors facing this direction.
Oh, yeah. Ooh,
that was bad too.
That's
but
much
like,
worse.
This was worse because I was just like needles.
Disagree.
Oh, ugh. And then the third one had something to do with something. I remember a drill.
Something torture.
I remember a drill going into a skull.
Okay.
That's
I
all
bet
I remember.
they didn't remember that. the last thing they remembered.
Probably.
Well, we 100% watched Saw 3 because my friend had just gotten an HD TV and it was on Blu-ray at the rental place.
Yeah,
That's
you
why.
want to see all that in glorious Blu-ray.
I wanted to see the flex, skull flex.
Oh, you want to see all that blood? And speaking of, I finally got to see the person turn into mist in the Napoleon trailer because luckily Derek was like, "Watch right there," and oh yeah,
yeah,
gone.
Cannonball straight to the face.
Yeah, well, cannonball to the whatever's left of you.
Center mass. So those were the only new trailers. Everything else was the same shit.
Yeah.
Didn't have to watch the 40-minute trailer for Killers of the Flower Moon. So,
which I mean, I didn't even think about it, but I'm wondering why we're not getting new trailers because of the strike. Nothing's either being made or nothing's being promoted
as
right
of
now.
Today, the strike is probably over.
Ooh,
yeah.
Let's give it
Buckle
a
up,
clap.
campers.
Because they announced that they have reached terms, but then the lawyers are now in the negotiations of like the fine print.
So yeah, we just gotta cross some T's and dot some I's.
Picket lines are down and all that stuff. So
all right,
that's good.
That's a
So
fucking start.
Plus, we're also going into the Oscar season, and they don't like to. You don't usually promote those movies a lot ahead of time.
Yeah,
so
not too far. You want people to forget about them.
So yes. So then we have the retirement plan.
Long-awaited retirement plan for me. I mean, as soon as you showed me this trailer, whenever it was, couldn't wait to watch this.
Neither
man.
could I.
Yeah.
Like I am all about Nic Cage. Dude.
Before we get into whatever plot you want to get into, I am going to talk about one thing, just a negative of this movie: no squibs.
Nope, that was my thing.
I mean, we just
CG
had CG,
blood.
yeah, and we're doing a small studio, we're doing a smaller production, so I get it. I just have to voice that I would have appreciated some squibs.
It's easier, it's faster, it's cheaper, and Tim Brown, who wrote and directed this movie, is basically a producer. So easier, faster, cheaper is his motto.
That's right up his alley.
He has directed a few movies, but I'd never heard of any of them. I was like, of course the producer directed a bunch of shit, because producers don't know how to make movies. So that's why they're producers. But some of the stuff he produced. Well, they're movies.
They have beginnings and ends.
There was a Steven Seagal movie from 2009.
Real generous with the movie thing.
He did produce Defendor. Did you ever see that?
No.
Defendor
sounds like the last He-Man toy line they made. Defendor.
I feel like
That's why it's pronounced that way. Honestly, it's Woody Harrelson doing like a
shouldn't
fake.
Made fun of that.
Doing like a fake superhero movie, kind of like along the lines of like Super with Rainn Wilson. If you ever saw that,
yeah.
Or like a Kick-Ass thing,
is what I was
where it's like
thinking
a
of.
real world person, but he's like kind of slow. And he's basically like, I put on this helmet and this mask and I go out and I fight crime, and he gets involved in some real shit.
Any good?
I remember it being really good, but I saw it when it came out. That was like 2010 maybe.
Might be worth a rewatch.
I enjoyed it back then.
Yep.
He also produced 3 Steve Austin movies.
We're talking Stone Cold Steve Austin. Not somebody I don't know. Like
not
maybe
the $6 million man. Yeah.
Was he 6 million? I thought it was just 1 million. Damn, inflation is a bitch.
Well, now it's like 14.
I didn't even think about that. No, I never watched it. I just always called him the $1 million man, but I think 6 million's more. The $1 million man's like missing arms. he's got a leg made of an old bar stool.
So I just want to mention some other ones because it made me laugh. So they seem to be on his like most known for list under producing, and it was Vampire Dog, Step Dogs, and Bark Ranger.
Oh, so he likes doggies.
He's got a type then, you're saying. He's got a type.
He's got Steven Seagal movies, Steve Austin movies, dog movies.
You already said Steven Seagal. You don't have to say dogs. At least Steve Austin's a decent fucking person that we're aware of.
Yeah.
Like, he came out early, very openly supporting gay rights and whatnot.
I love that
and it doesn't seem like he would be on that side.
No.
Well,
so
he's
in
never
my
been
face,
caught putting people in a sex dungeon either.
never been caught.
That's why you can never say they hasn't done anything. You always say someone hasn't been caught. It's 2023.
Never meet your heroes.
The cinematographer we don't always talk about, but I have to mention. There's a guy named Mark Irwin who did a lot of the early David Cronenberg movies.
Okay.
And it's weird because this is like the 5th time this movie's come up in the last few days for me. But he did Videodrome. He did Scanners. He did The Brood. He did Dead Zone. He did The Fly. So like he's made a lot of cool movies.
The Fly with
Goldblum. Yeah, what was that?
That was my
That's your
Goldblum.
Goldblum impersonation?
When he
There it is. Life finds a way.
Exactly.
I can't be a fly. I can't be a fly.
Be a fly.
That's before he was full Goldblum, but
Before he knew what he was.
Before he went full Goldblum.
I mean, he found out that he's a zaddy and he's in.
However, this guy also did Showdown in Little Tokyo.
Okay.
Steel with Shaq.
Ooh.
Freddy Got Fingered.
I'm making my Shaq face.
Daddy, would you like some
Freddy got
sausage?
fingered.
So, he's up and down.
Yeah.
He was also cinematographer on RoboCop,
Ooh, back in.
which is why I recognized his name in the first place. I saw it and
Yeah.
I was like, I've seen that recently.
I like that more than most of the other ones you mentioned.
Do you think
Well,
he did?
RoboCop doesn't have a chest vagina.
It doesn't. All right, I had to watch it in my head real quick.
Although,
No chest vagina.
All right.
Open cavities in people's chests via gunshot wounds, but no.
remember that time RoboCop shot that guy in the dick? It's still like my favorite picture. There's a picture out there of this girl in the shirt that says, "Remember that time RoboCop shot a
And
guy
it's
in the
Peter
dick?"
Weller right
with
next
Peter
to
Weller.
Just smiling from ear to fucking ear. He knows.
He knows.
So, the retirement plan. We're here now.
Here we are. Finally.
Doing something. We're talking about something none of us are ever going to do.
No, I think I'll die.
Oh, I just meant the retiring part.
Oh, that's my plan.
Murdering a bunch of people also might not be on our list.
Not on my list right now. A bunch of people? No.
Have you met me?
A couple few? Maybe.
So we've got Nic Cage playing Matt or John.
Matt.
Jim.
Or
Jim.
John. Or Jim, yeah.
Ashley Greene playing Ashley. Mm-hmm. Real easy for her. Ron Perlman as maybe my favorite character name of all time.
Bobo.
Bobo.
And I mean, I know Ron Perlman's already like a beastly gentleman, but he's
Yes.
carrying himself in such a way where his shoulders are up, his neck is forward.
Oh.
I mean, he looks like a dude that you would call Bobo.
Yeah.
If you
does.
line him up with the rest of these fucking mobster types, like, all right, pick me out a Bobo. 10 out of 10, everyone's
10
picking
out of
him.
10. Yes.
Yeah.
Fucking Bobo.
And then Jacke Earle Haley as mob boss or capo, I guess.
A capo, yeah, he's a shot caller.
Yeah. Donnie.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And
You're out of your
some
element,
other fun
Donnie.
surprises, but we have a couple other people that are entertaining.
Yeah, I can't wait
We'll
to
get
pop
there.
up to is it Captain John? Captain Joseph?
Captain Joseph.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm going character name,
I
not
was like, who the
actor.
fuck is You mean Captain Ron?
I just watched that recently. Holds
I
up.
was like, he is
Yeah?
not in this
Yeah.
movie.
Good on
Captain
him.
Ron Good.
Does it hold up better than Overboard?
Well, it's a lot less problematic.
That's what I mean. I think she was saying Overboard's still good, and I was like, yeah.
No,
haven't
I think
seen
what
it,
she
so-
means is she still likes Overboard.
I haven't seen it in a long time.
I mean, it's probably still entertaining, but when
Oh,
you
it
start,
always
when
will
you,
be.
as an adult, I saw it a bunch of times as a kid. As an
You've
adult,
got-
when you start thinking about it, you're like,
You've got Kurt Russell playing with his tank top like so. I mean, just rubbing it in. It's going to be entertaining.
so we start in Miami.
I'm Benito.
Welcome to Miami. It's literally all I could think of, that fucking song.
God damn it, Will Smith.
Yeah, he's ruined all of our lives.
Yeah.
It is.
We have Ashley. She's waiting for something. It's Jimmy. He comes out with his friend who has been shot, and the whole time he's just saying, he's going to be okay. And I'm like, you're saying it to the wrong person. You're supposed to be looking at him. saying,
Reassure him.
You're going to be okay.
I do like he's telling her, it's like, you got to slow down. We cannot get pulled over. Like,
Right?
this movie's addressing that.
Yeah.
And, most times they just take off and they're good to go. It's like, no, dude, we have a gunshot victim in this car. Slow the fuck down.
They do address the real world of crime a couple of times because
Uh-huh.
later on in the hotel, when Ron Perlman's like, there's going to be a bunch of cops.
Yeah.
Don't be an asshole.
Yeah, and in another movie with this many hitmen or whatever you want to call them, mobsters, there would be less giving a shit about the law or order.
And then we have her boyfriend, Jimmy, who I recognized,
Husband.
but I didn't have time to look it up.
They were married. They were husband and wife.
Oh, I thought you were just
So
calling
you're
him
me
husband.
No. Her husband.
Her husband.
He looked like a Rest in Pictures young Lance Reddick.
Kind of, yeah.
A little bit there.
Yeah.
Sweatiest man in show business, this guy, though. At least in the back seat of this car.
I mean, he is in Miami.
I am buying it, though.
Yes.
Like, it looks like somebody spritzed him.
And they stole
Something.
a hard drive or a
They
a
kept
flash
calling
drive.
it a hard drive. I'm like, it's a fucking flash drive.
Oh, but it's hard, though.
So what we
It's hard to steal.
what we
It's
call
not a
it
circle.
is a MacGuffin.
Yeah.
He stole the MacGuffin, And he gave the MacGuffin to his wife and said, keep this MacGuffin safe and you'll keep the family safe.
Where would you put it to
Save
keep
the
it safe?
cheerleader, save the world.
You know where I wouldn't put it? In my daughter's backpack.
Oh,
Right?
you're just asking for your daughter to get in a bunch of trouble. I
Yeah.
thought that too. I was like, hey, I have no kids, but I wouldn't put it in a kid's bed. Well, maybe somebody else's kid, like just randomly walking by. I'm like, not my problem.
Well, and I love because it's like, oh, I'm going to put it here because no one will ever think about it. And within 7 seconds of us meeting Jacke Earle Haley, he's like, so it's with her and she's in the Cayman Islands with your dad?
Yeah.
And then
So here's the plot.
Ashley's just like, I don't know.
I gotta say, I love Jacke Earle Haley as an actor. This role is not what he should be doing. He's not intimidating. He is terrifying, but
Yeah.
he's not physically intimidating. And he's coming at Jimmy and the wife, and even at his own men in a manner of like, I will pick you up and choke you out. It's like, you will not.
No,
Yeah.
but
He
he,
needs to
will
be-
pull a trigger on your face real quick.
Absolutely. I just think character choice, he should have maybe played it a little more reserved, methodical, and terrifying.
Well,
Yeah.
they did say he spent 7 years in hard time.
Yeah,
Like,
so did
that'll
Kingpin.
roughen a bitch up.
So did Kingpin. He knows how to act.
I loved him as
That's how you
Kingpin.
do
He's
too.
also a
there.
lot bigger.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but he could pull off that. So- but you know what I'm getting at, though. It's like I wanted him, just while I'm watching, I wanted him to be a different version of that mob boss.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed watching him because he like Nic Cage to a lesser extent, and like Ron Perlman in this, just kind of like chewing everything up.
Oh yeah, dude. Ron
mean-
Ron needs some dental floss for those scenes, man. He's got little bits of scenery stuck in his teeth. He's chewing
The pistachios.
right off the bat. The pistachios.
Yeah, right when we meet him, yeah, he's just eating a bunch of nuts, and he goes to stand up and dumps the shells on the ground, and Donnie's like, "What the fuck, man?"
What the fuck, Bobo?
Oh, Bobo.
I do love though. She's like, "I'll send you to the Cayman Islands. No one will ever know you're in the Cayman Islands." And then she stands there watching the plane take off, and the mob guys see her, and the plane just says Cayman Islands on the side.
I wonder where it's going.
New York.
Quick, we got to get back to Miami.
So she sends her daughter off to go with her dad, who she hasn't seen in some amount of time.
Yeah.
It's been a few decades. He
I say
said,
the
I
girl.
think
The girl's
last time he
12,
saw her-
right?
Yeah,
Well, he specifies the last time he saw her, well, no, I guess it's the other one, was 8.
yeah. When we finally get to see Ernie Hudson, he says he saw Ashley when she was 8.
Okay.
So it's been at least a decade or two.
Yeah.
He knows that he knows that her and Jimmy are married, I think.
No.
But he doesn't know that they
No,
have
the
kids.
daughter pulls the picture out,
Oh, okay.
and I think that's how he kind of connects the dots.
Because he's like, she's a beautiful little black girl, a wonderful actress, by the way.
I actually thought she was pretty terrific,
fucking
man.
loved
yeah,
her.
she was really good.
They did a great job of not having her be the main focus of a lot of the movie, but when she is in it, I'm not cringing. I'm not
No.
ready for it to move on. She's great with Ron Perlman.
she's not doing the precocious thing. She's smart, but she's not an adult.
Shoving it in your face.
exactly.
Yeah.
Show me a spin-off where Ron Perlman just absconds with this little girl and they just live a life together as rogue scholars.
I kind of wanted that to happen. But so he's like, there's no way you're my granddaughter. There's no fucking way. And then they pull out this picture and he's like, oh, that's my daughter.
She
And
looks
that's-
older.
Yeah, that's what happens.
I also love when the little girl is asking Nic Cage, like,
How old are you?
How old are you? I stopped counting when I was 30.
I think we can all attest to that.
I'm in my late 60s. She's like 70.
Oh, and he's having a conversation with her, and he's like, so why, pray tell, are you here? And she's
Pray tell.
and he has to explain the whole thing. He's like, so pray tell why you are here.
And something else I love though was me and your mother are very different. Well, yeah, she wouldn't have offered me a beer. I mean, this guy's just, you want some flapjacks, maybe a beer? No
extra
beer,
syrup?
scotch for the young girl. No, they won't serve you. Well, get back to my house.
That's the Cayman Islands.
They'll serve you. They'll serve you.
Just don't go to the tourist spots.
They probably sadly thought it was. Never mind. Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sex tourism.
yeah.
Cayman Islands.
I have to address it because we cut back to Jacke Earle Haley, and he's wearing this blue snakeskin jacket.
His
Loved
shirts
it.
and jackets throughout this movie are both on point and ridiculous.
At one point towards the end of the movie, I was trying to think of a name that involved the mafia and the Backstreet Boys because his mafia guys, or they're not mafia, it's not Italian, but his organized crime people are literally all wearing like brightly colored. I mean, they're from Miami, but
They're wearing a Miami gangster uniform.
But it's so they are literally like you've got the guy with like little dreads that are hanging down in his face. You've got the guys that are wearing like the bright clothes, shiny pants. I mean, I don't know what was happening.
Nic Cage will comment on it too. He's like, "Man, you guys got to get some island attire because you are."
Aren't you dying in those suits?
So when they finally do get to him with the daughter, because they kidnap Ashley now, and they go to his house, and he does a great, wonderful comedic job of acting old as fuck.
That is
gentlemen, hold my back. I gotta sit down real quick, and it's fucking funny as shit to see.
With him hobbling over there.
It's a trailer scene, so we can talk about it because he sits down so that he can grab this fucking dumbbell and just clock this dude in the face with it.
Woo!
And fucking Ron Perlman calling Jacke Earle Haley, and he's just like, he killed him with like a free weight?
What's the
like
word? A hand weight? He's like, what? A dumbbell.
Who kills somebody with weights? And my first thought was, well, I've seen Final Destination 3.
I'm sure there's some prison movie where somebody gets fucking murderized with a weight.
I'm sorry. Pain and Gain?
Pain and Gain.
Pain and Gain.
Absolutely.
Former or previous episode.
Yeah.
Not former episode, it still exists.
Oh, bro, it's still out there. Don't take away my best work.
Badmoviesworstpeople.com. Go find Pain and Gain. It's hilarious.
It is the best.
It's actually one of my favorite.
If you want to hear him do that for like an hour and a half.
You will love it.
Well, don't try and sell him on that.
Well, I do it too.
I maintain it's my favorite Michael Bay.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that's even close to anything else.
Yeah,
well,
I mean, maybe The Rock. But we always
Rock.
forget about The Rock because it's a good movie.
Yeah, it's because it's not a Michael Bay one, except for that one chase scene. Anyway.
He finds out that she's been told he's dead this whole time.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, he's like, basically, I was a shitty dad.
Oh, much to his credit. Yeah, he's like, hey, if your mom wants you to think I'm dead, there's a reason.
Yeah.
I
probably deserve it.
I'm not a great person.
I saw her 2 months of a year. I left when
I was
sick.
there, I was shitty.
Yeah, I was an asshole.
And we have
hero.
the head crime person, Hector.
Oh,
who
okay.
is played by
When you
Grace
said
Byers.
crime person, I thought you meant like maybe cop or FBI.
No,
pro-crime.
Crimer.
Crimer.
The
Okay.
crimer, not the crime stopper.
She knows all there is to know about the criming game.
Yeah.
This actor. Just I'm not gonna sing it.
Grace Byers is the actress.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, not super
Menacing.
intimidating, but menacing is exactly what I want from her. Because she's not physically imposing, but I believe it when she says she's gonna get you killed.
There's
1,000%.
Like she'll get someone to shoot you.
I would not eat any food off that table. Guaranteed, it's all fucking poison.
No, I would because I know it's my last meal.
Oh,
If she's sitting me at that table, I'm pretty fucked.
are you fucking Norm from Jurassic Park? What's his character?
Oh, talking about Norm is not a hit. Norm is from Cheers. You're talking about, is it Wayne Knight?
No, his name is Norman.
Newman.
Fuck me.
Now I want Jerry Seinfeld on Cheers. Everyone's like, Norman. Just from the corner, all bitter at this alcoholic. Jerry Seinfeld hates fat people, apparently.
You're
Hello,
talking
Newman.
about Wayne Knight. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wayne
that
Knight.
guy.
Oh, you didn't say the magic word.
That guy. He's just
Nedry
like,
in Jurassic Park.
Ned.
Yeah. I hate this hacker crap. I don't do a Samuel Jackson.
We've got Dotson here.
That's it. See? Nobody cares.
Did you ever see that 6th Jurassic Park? I had to think about the numbers in my head.
Is that the newest one?
Yeah, Dominion.
Turned it off. I fucking sent it back and it was
I made
free.
him watch it with me.
Only thing I appreciated, and they didn't use the same actor, was that I was like, okay, at least they got a villain that we've seen before, because it was Dotson.
Oh,
It was the guy
okay.
running the whatever Genetics company.
Since we're off topic, I expect, like, when I watch a Jurassic Park movie since the first one, I expect it to be pretty bad story and really like flashy and the graphics to be okay. I turned it on, started watching it, and the graphics were not okay. It just didn't.
The giant crickets didn't do it for you?
The giant crickets did not do it for me. What's his name? Chris Pratt just fucking shitting around on his motorcycle, going in between dinos. I couldn't do it, dude. I turned it off.
She wanted to see it, and I was like, well, you know what? It's got Sam Neill, it's got Laura Dern, it's got Jeff Goldblum. They were all asleep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, they signed the checks before they filmed.
Yeah.
And that's a mistake.
Yeah, it was awful. Sam Neill wasn't even hiding his accent.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's not this movie. I just thought about it because it had Dotson in it.
You didn't pay enough for that?
It was fucking terrible. Don't watch that movie.
No.
So yeah, he does the old man act. He beats the shit out of these guys. and then we have the FBI or the agency, whatever agency this is.
It doesn't say either way, but it's the agency, the bureau.
It's some kind of agency and or bureau.
They're official. Look at their suits.
I can't remember his name, but he's in the shadows at first, and you don't really see who it is. But immediately, I was just like, "Please sit on my face."
His name is How Much Do Close Class to the Matrix?
Yes.
No, his name is Joel David Moore.
Yes, I absolutely
Playing Fitzsimmons.
I love that
Fitzsimmons.
character.
I was trying to think of the character.
I like that actor a lot. He was in another show.
He's playing this as a straight man, and he's not doing bad. It's just not what I'd like you as.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 100% used to. I mean, I've seen him in other stuff, but every time I see him, I'm just like, oh, it's
Are you
JP.
afraid of techno? No, I just don't like it. You would if you had robot ears. Yeah, I guess I would.
I mean, I on a regular basis say things along the lines of, I've been thinking about getting robot legs. It's a risky procedure, but it's gonna be worth it.
I want to get you a black cobra just to go around your neck.
He was on the show Bones that I loved.
Oh,
that
that's
show.
right. He was on that.
I don't watch garbage
Was it
TV,
him?
just garbage movies.
Was he the Bones? Because he looks like a skeleton.
I mean, he was a medical examiner.
Okay. I don't know the show. I've seen it with her a handful of times.
I think Bones is a person, isn't it?
Yes. Bones is the main person. They call her Bones because she's not an archaeologist.
Isn't she a Deschanel?
Yes.
It's
Emily.
Zoe's sister, I believe.
Emily Deschanel.
Cool.
And now you know.
Bring.
The more you know. Can we get sued for
All right,
using
back to
that
this.
graphic?
I'm gonna. So I don't know when this line happened. Oh, I got it. Nic Cage was talking to Drysdale, who is the head of the agency.
Who I called the poor man's Angela Bassett, even though she's awesome. And I did end up finding out from IMDb, I didn't pull it from my own files, but she is the drill instructor from In the Army Now with Pauly Shore. Captivating.
Well,
She gives you a fear boner.
She says some shit to him, and I had to write the line. Hand me a sack of shit and tell me it's fish and chips.
Hand me a sack of shit and tell me it's fish and chips. It's fucking great, and it's going in my little bag of isms.
Right along with shit in my hat.
Shit in my hat. Crack a boom, motherfucker. I'm going to get them all tattooed on me somewhere.
Crack-a-boom is still hands down my favorite.
Also, previous episode, Death Note.
No,
Yes.
Officer Down?
Officer Down. Yes.
Officer
One of
Down.
those.
One of those. Dude, that's,
If it was Officer Down, I wasn't there.
I feel
so I'm
like it
probably
is
gonna say
Death
that.
Note. It is Death Note.
Is
with with Willem Dafoe. Kind of.
Yeah, because it's the one with the autistic ninja.
Yes, absolutely.
Because he's the one who
Wait,
says
no,
it,
no,
right?
no, no. It is Officer Down because there's an autistic ninja in one, an autistic detective in the other, and a hip hop ninja in the other. It's real. We're really having trouble here.
We watch a lot of movies.
These two things, these characters are almost the same character.
Uh-huh. Except one is autistic that eats candy. The other one's hip hop and wears skydiving
That's
goggles.
right. It's Officer Down because it's the candy. No, wait, what?
Candy is Death Note.
You're right. Goggles.
Goggles is
Goggles
Officer
is Officer Down.
Jesus
Got it.
fucking
Jesus
Christ. If you're still watching, kudos. I mean, like, fuck. Or somebody, we have like 3 fans that are actually yelling at the screen right now.
Like, it's Officer Down, you fucking idiot. You said it was the
idiot.
best line of the movie.
And I'm sorry you had to watch that to know that. Jeez. Oh,
No, they
jeez.
just listen to you.
Yeah. You know what? Good for you.
That's what I did.
That's smart.
I
Just
didn't watch
assume
it.
that I'm wrong. Mm-hmm. That's a safe move.
That's what I do.
So they're hiding out in this like hotel, and it's funny because Nic Cage and Ashley say they need to hide out in an out of the way hotel. Ron Perlman takes Sarah, the daughter, and says we need to hide out in an out of the way hotel, and they're right around the corner from each other.
And
They're
it's-
what, like 3 doors down?
Yeah, it comes as something fucking hilarious
And
when
you know what?
she's.
You might call him Superman.
Yeah.
I like how she's going to get ice. He's like, "Where are you going?" No. They can already be looking for us. Yada yada. And she's like, "I think I can get some ice." Walks out the hall, sees him, turns right back in. I mean,
she takes what, 2 steps?
and everybody's face is great because you got these 3 bodyguards or hitmen or mafia or fellas, and one of them beat 'em up guys, and one of them cannot put his arms down.
No.
I mean, he's a big guy, but it's like, come on, guy.
Yeah.
Come on, relax a little. But yeah, all 3 of the beat 'em up guys' faces are just fucking delightfully blank.
Priceless.
Yeah, because they're not expecting to see her. They're going to Ron Perlman's room. And they're trying to get her to come out, and he's like, all right.
Trailer moment.
Yes,
so we can talk about
exactly.
this. Trailer moment.
He's like, I need
They're
your help.
politely knocking on the door.
We know you're in there, Tiffany.
Ashley.
Nope. I'm calling her Tiffany from now on. No, it's Ashley.
I don't know. It doesn't matter, really.
We know you're in there, Tiffany. It's Ashley. Oh, shit.
Oh, sorry, wrong room.
Sorry.
No Tiffany here.
This is a joined room. Can you see if she's next door, please? I've already committed to this door.
So he's basically talking about how he's got to break these guys up. He's like, I can take them, but I can't take them all at once. And she still doesn't know that he was a career criminal or a career assassin.
Yeah, she
Assassin.
just thinks he was a piece of shit. I kind of thought that she had some inkling until this, she started questioning it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, she didn't
she
know.
had no idea.
So
I
didn't
like how
know?
he explained it to the
She didn't know at all.
though.
She didn't know at all.
She didn't know. She didn't know at all.
I was like, I didn't sing it, but it's fine.
I did.
You did. You fixed it.
Past episode.
I'm used to him singing it. Great episode also.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if it's in the trailers or not, so spoiler, definitely. When the little girl's asking, like, what did you do? And he was like, oh, I was a negotiator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And finally, at one point, I love the line too, because she's like, well, what did you do later in the movie?
It's
She
like
asks
arbitrary.
again. Well, she asks again when she's going to bed, and he's like, I'll tell you one day over a beer. Which is like, hey, we got years before I'm gonna have to tell you that shit.
Yeah, that line came before. I think he mentioned that she had been offered, or he had tried to get her a beer or something. So I was like, oh, so he's saying I'll tell you in 15 years or whatever.
No. I'll tell you as soon as somebody serves you a fucking beer. I'll tell you when you order a beer. We're in the Cayman Islands. They'll
When
get you
we
a
get out
beer.
of this, I'll tell you.
And I mean, so this scene does happen in the trailer, and that's one kind of problem I had is a lot of the cool action was in the trailer.
Almost all of it.
Yeah. But like, so they open the door and he pulls one of the guys in and they slam the door and the other two guys are just standing there like, wait, what?
Wouldn't you bust right in?
I think the thing is they were so baffled because first of all, they weren't even expecting to find her. They find her and then an old man kidnaps their friend and they're just like, wait, what? And I don't think they're worried about him because they're like, oh, this is like a fucking 70-year-old dude.
Yeah.
He's fine.
It's a beat 'em up guy he just kidnapped. He doesn't know that.
We're great at beat 'em upping.
Beating him up is what we do. Look at my paycheck.
So he fucking takes that dude out, and the other two guys do get in, and one of them gets a nice trip off the side of a balcony.
It's a great little bing bang boom.
Yeah.
And when at one point Nicolas Cage is like mocking one of the guys dying,
And that's 100% in the trailer.
he
and
chops
I
the
love
guy
it.
in the throat, and the guy starts choking. Nicolas Cage. I wanted so much more of that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and
I
we
wanted
get
more
we get
Cage rage.
plenty, but I wanted Cage rage. I want uncaged.
I think that's the most disappointing thing about this movie. There's two things that were really disappointing to me. And we'll get there towards the end here,
Yes,
but
sir.
it wasn't Cage enough most of the time. And there's a little bit of it's a little long. Even though it's not that long, it's only 103 minutes.
Well, and it
there
also
were points
just-
where it was just like, okay.
Just to fast forward to the end a bit, it's almost like they just turned off the cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they,
like,
they had someone in the clock. They're like, "All right, dude, we've gone too far. We have more lines. Shut it down." Like it just stops.
You're done.
Can we just
Yeah.
do a freeze frame? Nope, you already shot it.
No freeze frames allowed. Much
but
to
yeah,
my dismay.
they get away. They're leaving. Ron Perlman's chasing him. Him and the girl are like bonding, which is sweet.
Over Othello and stuff, and he's got a fun backstory about like he never went to school, but the character is highly intelligent, and he's got a code.
Well, he doesn't seem, and I think that's supposed to be the thing. Is that early on it seems like he's just kind of the which way did he go?
Yeah.
guy.
My name is Bobo.
He's a bobo.
Yeah,
In
and
his
then,
heyday, he was a big smasher of a big beat 'em up guy.
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, Iago from fucking Othello." Da da da. And she's like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, he's quoting Othello like
Yeah.
very well. Or he's quoting
Yeah, no,
Iago.
I loved the character development between those two. 100%.
I could have done more with Ron Perlman in this movie because I mean he's getting up there in age, but he still looks great.
Yeah,
He looks fine by me.
He looks like Ron Perlman.
Yeah.
I love he
Look,
kept
I-
talking shit about Nic Cage being old, and I was like, "You're like the same age."
Right?
Yeah, but he's not going over there grabbing these dudes and beating them up. He's sending people in.
Yeah, that's where I stopped taking notes.
Yeah.
because I was like, now we're getting into like that kind of towards the end of the second act. We're getting into the third act where things start happening.
We're
but
getting
we
a lot
can
of
go-
exposition.
Yeah.
We're starting to figure out that, ooh, sorry. All apologies. We start to see there is a lot of scheming behind the scenes between them,
Yeah.
they, them, and the others.
Yeah, it becomes a whole thing, which does get I lost it. I lost the thread for a minute. It's
I
like
don't think you
this
did.
agent and that agent and this person and that person and everybody's calling
It was
somebody else.
all right.
and-
It was much like previous episode Cherry 2000, where somebody pulls a gun and then someone's behind them, and then somebody jumps out of a refrigerator, and then somebody rolls by in a donkey. It's just like, dude, can we slow down? I know this movie's almost over, but could slow down a little
This
bit.
movie could have used a donkey.
Every movie could have used a donkey except Schindler's List.
I mean, maybe.
All right, you convinced me. But yeah, I could have trimmed some time off of this and been fine and given it more Cage time. As much as we like Hector, also a female named Hector, love that gender blur. Like
Definitely, I love where they went with that.
Because you kept thinking like, is she working for a guy named Hector? No,
What?
motherfucker, she's Hector.
And at one
My
point,
balls
when
are bigger than Hector.
Hell
bitch.
yeah.
when she's talking to an underling and they keep calling her Mrs. whatever the last name was,
Oh no.
she's like, no, just call me Hector. And it made me wonder, like, was Hector like her husband, maybe?
Or father.
Oh, okay.
And then she like killed him and took over and was like, no, call me Hector. I don't know. That's a whole backstory that we don't get, which is
Yeah.
fine. I like a little bit of intrigue. You don't need
Yeah,
to.
definitely.
Oh yeah, no, I can
Not
make up. Yeah, I can
necessary.
make up my own story for this and figure out why I like her and why she's a badass.
And-
no problem.
Yeah, I feel like. So we have to touch on it real quick. I didn't really mention it. We meet Ernie Hudson.
Oh boy, you want to talk about aging
A
gracefully?
delight.
Yeah.
You want to talk about looking good?
Yeah,
The guy's gotta
not
be in
that
his-
different from Ghostbusters.
This guy's got to be in
1985.
his 60s, right? Like getting up to 70.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
he's a little bit saggier and a little slightly gray,
Uh-huh.
but he's basically just the same guy from Ghostbusters.
Still got
Yeah.
that big, beautiful smile.
Oh,
And he's the one that kind of fills homegirl in on his on Nic Cage's past, and you didn't hear it from me, but yeah, well, he's got a pass.
1,000% on his side. And he has a nice story that I'm not going to get into. Watch it to hear it.
Oh, it was a good-
explaining about it. And I'm
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah,
on you.
solid story.
Yeah, and I love seeing him. There's not enough of him, but at the point where he comes in, it does provide a place for like the end of the second act, like climax kind of thing that's going on before we move into the final act, which is, just to touch on it real quick, is just an all-out assault of like 10 burly, grown beat-em-up men
Yeah. Oh, these are the best beat 'em ups.
Oh my goodness.
versus elderly Nic Cage and Ernie Hudson, who doesn't have a gun. And they lose.
Oh, his line with the flare gun.
And I'm not gonna spoil it, but that is my favorite death in a movie this year, I think. I mean, we're getting to the end of the year, and I can't think of a better one than that one.
No, it was
You gotta watch.
fantastic.
You gotta watch to find out what death it
Yes.
is.
Watch
You'll be
it.
spoiled here.
Just remember that there's a death where a pumpkin would be better than CG. So, and then they kind of get that done, and he takes Jacke Earle Haley, gets the daughter and the granddaughter, takes them back to Miami. There's a whole bunch more like interagency twist them around.
How did it
jabs.
happen? What is going on? We have them
Somehow
all.
we end up back in Miami, and this
Somehow
is where,
Palpatine returned.
dude.
So
No,
go
don't
ahead.
even.
Go ahead.
We'll save that for the Star Wars podcast. God, that's gonna have to be the last episode. Anyway,
I'll quit after that.
Nic Cage gets to Miami looking full on Kenny Rogers.
Oh, dude, he knows when to hold him.
When to
He knows
fold
when
him.
to fold him, and he definitely knows when to shoot him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was waiting for him to come in with some chicken because he's just got the white suit. It's not a mullet, but with the way his hair, it's actually
He's got
clean
an
now.
undershave.
Yeah. Oh, I
we-
noticed when he's getting on the airplane, he's got an undershave, unlike some of us. That
Well,
just got full
we didn't
bush.
really mention that the whole time he's drunk. So
Yeah,
he
he just
looks
keeps
like a
drinking.
beach bum. His hair is dirty. His beard is
Oh,
scraggly.
he's mourning Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When she first meets him, he is asleep on the beach. I'm going to say asleep because I'm nice.
Sleep is being generous. I mean, maybe he's sleeping with an empty vodka bottle for, like a binky style. It's
Well,
like
it's
a safety blanket
it's a
for
It's
him.
for self-defense. We saw it right when she woke him up. He almost beat her over the head with it.
I did like he had a little wherewithal of like, oh no, stop. That's a little girl trying to wake you up, not someone coming to kill you.
Yeah.
Calm down, guy.
But so he gets back to Miami. He's looking a little bit more dapper. He's got a trunk full of guns. And he goes basically into a full-on assault to get his family back.
I gotta
and
say,
that's kind of where we'll have to stop that.
You know I love a gear up scene, and his is good. His is
Yeah.
good. And I do believe, rewatching it, he uses everything he gears up with. Like, it's not
Yes,
just
he
like,
does.
oh, he put like knives in his, oh, he didn't use those knives. Oh, but he got a gas grenade. No, he didn't use that gas grenade. This is all practical use.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
it
good.
is.
Yeah. I have one thing I will address. And
You wanted him to
annoyed me.
paint a Punisher skull on his chest?
No.
Oh.
But he's got body armor,
Yeah.
and he gets shot,
Yeah.
and then he takes off his body armor.
Yeah.
Because
It's single use.
It can be. I mean, it depends. Is he got like it depends on the Kevlar or is that plates? Because if
Okay.
those and we're talking about he got
Exactly.
shot by a 12 gauge.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe I thought about the same thing. I was like, I would keep it on, but maybe it's an older one.
I did also, but then when you get in a car accident and a car seat for a child, don't use that car seat anymore. Bicycle, helmet, don't fucking use that helmet
Oh,
anymore.
I did.
Which one?
So that's what's
Well, there's a reason I don't have any kids besides my stepdaughter now.
Too old for a car seat.
No, I got hit by a truck going about 55 miles an hour, and I just kept using that same helmet.
Well, it's
was
because
like-
they hit your leg.
Well, it's my head
Yeah,
smashed.
jokingly, the helmet was on his knee.
My head destroyed his side mirror.
Oh, wow.
So it was a good thing I was wearing the helmet.
Yeah.
But I kept using it because I was like, oh, that scratch looks cool.
It's lucky.
Yeah, I
couldn't
almost
happen
died.
again.
It's like a scar, you know?
Chicks dig scars. Pain doesn't last. Glory lasts forever, and wounds heal.
Chicks also dig bicycle
What is it?
helmets.
It's from replacements. I'll figure it out. Chicks dig bicycle helmets, man. Not all chicks. Kind of chicks double up a dude like me.
So yeah, that's kind of where we'll have to stop. But
Yeah.
we can go into kind of thoughts about the movie. So I'm not a recommendation. What you thought about direction?
So
that kind of
I
stuff.
definitely will give it a recommendation. I didn't find it to be a drag. I did say I wanted to trim some off. I could trim off some of the exterior shots and add in more Nicolas Cage and more Ron Perlman for me. I'm being greedy. But yeah, the lack of squibs and the lack of untethered Cage.
Hey you, you.
Hey you.
It's just
Shut your
Amber.
face.
over there on the couch.
It's just Amber. You're okay.
But can I finish? Excuse me, Madam Delegate, can I finish? All right, I'm finished. No, I just I think it was a really fun movie that could have been a great movie. I enjoyed Sympathy for the Devil more than this, for the simple fact that we get more of that sit the fuck down. And he never really got above that, and that's
No,
fine.
he
But
didn't.
everybody in here is at least competent or much better.
Yeah.
So that's me giving it, I don't know, what we do, 10 thumb system. No, we do a three thumb system around here. I'm gonna give it 2. Room for improvement.
Okay.
I fucking loved it. I do give this 3 thumbs.
Yeah.
I was laughing my ass off the whole time. I'm sorry to the one person in the theater that was sitting behind me.
You
but
probably made his experience better, honestly.
he was like, every time I turned
Oh,
to
Whitney,
look
that's just his face. He can't help it.
But I, like, halfway through, I leaned over to husband and I was like, we're buying this movie. And I'm recommending it to my parents. I'm going to tell them, hey, go to your little red box thing in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll find it.
I probably will buy this as well, honestly.
Yeah,
like I think
I
it's got
just-
replay value.
100%. Because I feel like this is something you don't need to really follow. Like, this is definitely a movie you can watch and follow easily. Or it's also a movie where you can just have on in the background and you turn over and you're like, oh, shit. What?
Yeah, well said. Dare Bear.
I'll be the wet blanket. I do recommend it. I do recommend it, but it's 1 thumb and then the boneless thumb that she had removed.
Oh, you're bone and a half.
It
Yeah.
had a bone. It didn't have a tendon.
Because, and I was really, really digging it up until we went back to Miami at the end.
Yeah.
Because as that part was going on, I could feel myself losing like what was going on a little bit, but also I was just like, this doesn't. We could have ended in the Caymans because I understand they were.
Should have ended the Cayman.
I understand they were wrapping up. They want to wrap up this agency story they didn't really need. They want to wrap up the Hector stuff and all that. But like,
They wrapped it.
We could have just wrapped it in the Caymans and then had Hector just be like, "We'll just count that as a loss."
Yeah.
Like
Next time.
you know. But like, I felt like I started feeling it drag a lot, and it's only
Yeah.
103 minutes, which is
Fine.
not super long, not super short. It's right there. But I mean, you could have trimmed a lot of that out. We did get some really cool stuff in that final sequence that we're not going to discuss.
Mm-hmm.
But Overall,
again,
I just felt like that whole final sequence didn't need to be there.
And again, the agency plotline, you could put $20 on the table and I couldn't tell you what happened. Like that for that. I know the movie, yes. The agency thing, it's like I don't really get it.
I got it.
There's one whole thing that there's one
I
whole
understood
thing.
it.
There's one whole thing we'll have to discuss off camera because I don't want to spoil anything. But there was somebody who talked to somebody else, and that never happened again. And then they acted like it never.
Oh,
happened.
I already know, and that's why I'm confused.
Yeah, and it really confused me. But other than that, like
everybody's taking secret fucking phone calls.
and they're all flip phones. What the fuck? It's 2020.
More reliable.
That's fair.
They're all burners.
Exactly.
Yeah. But either way, I mean, I do recommend it. It was very fun up until a point. But when it does lag, it comes back around, and you get some really fun action.
So you might say, like, maybe even wait till you're at home.
Yeah, watch it at home.
It's not. You don't need to go see it.
I mean, if you want to go see it in theaters, it might be out of theaters by the time I post this.
He's not wrong. What, one showing today?
Yeah. Well, the first week it played, which was last week, it had 2 showings a day, and now it has 1. So that's why I was like, well, we got to record it now.
Yeah.
So, and we're recording this episode about a week before it'll come out ish.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be gone. But I do think it was fun. I just, whatever. I thought it was pretty well directed, considering the director is a producer. It was pretty well. It was very well shot most of the time. The director did have a Michael Bay thing going on, where every time Hector was talking to someone, it was like her butt was in frame and their face was in frame.
Or a tight close up on her lips.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And she gorgeous woman. I'm not
Yeah.
saying anything bad against her. It's just like, this is what I care about. I care about her mouth and her butt.
Yeah.
Everything else can go away.
And
maybe other key pieces.
My biggest disappointment is just that Nic Cage wasn't Nic Cage enough.
Yeah, he was playing that drunk a little too well.
Yeah, and he was just very.
But I thought it fit for.
It
what
fits
it
for the
was.
character and stuff. It's just not what I was. It's not what I'm going to see his 7th or 12th movie this year for.
Especially the way the trailer's cut, you're expecting to get more of that.
Yeah, exactly.
And just everything with that pulling the guy in the room, and I wanted more of that.
But
Even though your
overall-
opinion's wrong, you're allowed to have it.
That's fair. Overall, I'm giving it a soft. I mean, I'm okay with purchasing it and watching it again.
Okay.
It's just something I'll put on while people are over here.
You just
drinking.
you have more room for improvement than I did.
It's drink
kind of
with
thing.
friends movie.
Oh yeah.
So that'll be it for this episode. I'm not sure what's going to be our next one because this was originally going to be Expendables.
Yeah.
But then this came to the theater,
and
so
we only had
this
a
is way better.
very small window.
And we all love. Oh.
Sorry.
And we all love Nic Cage.
Yes.
I want to do like the creator, but I don't know if there's enough to make fun of. I don't. We'll see, but we'll have another
Maybe
one coming
bike
up.
riders.
Yeah.
Maybe.
We've got another one coming up. We'll do another one in 2 weeks from today because we're trying to do it every 2 weeks. If nothing comes out, we can't do something.
Yeah.
There's always something coming out, but not something necessarily that we want to go watch.
Yeah.
Well, and maybe we find like a little streaming gem.
Yeah, there's a lot of random shit coming out streaming. Nic Cage has a new movie coming out again this year, Dream Scenario, which we'll probably have to cover.
I sent you that trailer,
Yeah.
and dude, that fucking looks awesome.
Yeah.
I can't
It's
wait.
an A24 movie.
I'll send you that.
I
Please
sent it to
do.
her.
Okay.
Did
Please
I watch
watch
it?
The one where everybody's dreaming about Nic Cage.
Separately.
He's like
Okay,
the
yeah.
English professor or some shit.
Uh-huh.
I want
And
to
it looks
see
like
that.
it evolves into everybody getting mad at him for the stuff that's happening in their dreams, but I couldn't tell you from the trailer what's in a dream and what's not, which is good.
Yeah.
So that looks fun. So remember to check us out. Bad Movies, worstpeople.com. We're available everywhere you get podcasts. We're available places you don't get podcasts. I don't know. We're available at work. I'm available. She doesn't know.
I'm not emotionally available, but I'm there.
Check out, or we can't really check them out, but I want to thank Magilla Gorilla.
Yeah.
Not
For
not the Hanna-Barbera character,
Like guerrilla warfare.
but he
Yeah, new intro outro. Sounds
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
wicked. I love it.
I love it.
got our new kind of synthy Carpenter-esque intro outro with his own personal touch to it.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
He's got a great touch.
Only you would know.
I think his wife knows.
Oh, maybe.
That'll be it for this episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. Tell people, click the little bell. I think it's up there.
Yeah.
Over there somewhere.
Click it. Like and
You can't
subscribe.
see it. It's
The
right there.
fuck is that?
You see it right there?
Jesus.
Click the bell, subscribe. You'll get notifications when we
She had it
post
right
stuff.
for me.
Tell your friends, and when you follow us on our podcast places, like and subscribe to that stuff too, if they let you.
Yep.
Definitely. Also, if you write in, we will read your letter to us next
Yeah.
time we record.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. We
Write
will.
a letter that I want to read.
I will learn how to read just for that.
Don't
Yes.
just send me an email with a giant F in it, because I don't want that letter.
I'll take that letter. I'll take the F. I'll take the
We
F.
have a letter here from John at MSN.com, it says,
I believe that's mine.
Yeah, it was a single letter.
thank you, John. Thank you, guys. I have been Derek.
I'm still Whitney.
I'm fish and chips as a bag of shit, Jack.
You took my closing line. I was going to say, remember to be a bag of shit or something.
Redo it then.
No, it's fine.
Redo it.
No, we're
keeping
leaving it.
this in there.
This is the end. This is the end.
Of the
Fade
podcast.
Out. Fade out. Fade
That's
out.
the end of the podcast. I said fade.
I said good
fade.
Starring David Fade.
And James Fader.